Hello everyone, welcome to the Forward Marketing Battle Review. So today we're going to talk about Nike and Adidas. This group consists of me, Nisa, and then Rahman Satya, Rizky Farah, Faris Kilgia, Antoine, Lina, and Gulam.
Nike is a private company created by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman in 1972. So the company is in a specific sector of activity, the sale of sports equipment. So some important dates. So in 1971, Caroline Davidson created the logo, the swoosh, for only $35. Then in 1972, Nike was created. And in 1981, Nike became the number one of the sports shoes in USA and go public. Nike is selling shoes for any sports like football, rugby, tennis, anything. And clothes as well, like jackets, shorts, socks, everything for any sports. Then Adidas is a private German company created by Adolf Dassler in 1949. So the company is in a specific sector of activity as well, same as Nike, the sale of sports equipment. Adidas brand values are authenticity, inspiration, honesty, and commitment. Adidas had a sales revenue of more than 19 billion euros in 2016. It's a brand which creates innovations and new design all the time. In the 70s, it was the official suppliers of balls for the World Cup. And in 2006, Adidas bought Reebok, the brand of shoes. When for Nike, the sale revenue are 37.5 billion US dollars.
The Porter's 5 forces analysis. First, there are threats of new entrants, and then threats of substitutes, and then bargaining power of suppliers, bidding power of buyers, and competitive rivalry. The threats of new entrants in this industry is low because both Nike and Adidas are well-established sportswear and equipment manufacturing companies. It's quite hard for new brands to enter this market because they have to face such huge cost being spent for manufacturing, establishing a distribution channel, investing in research and development, also establishing their name in the sports apparel industry, which is very competitive. Not only that, it is going to also be hard in keeping up with the marketing strategies Nike and Adidas have, since they already have a very wide audience paying attention to everything they will release. Next, the threats of substitutes. It is actually pretty high because the sportswear industry is filled with substitutes products. There are a lot of other products which can give the same product values as what Nike and Adidas release, such as other kind of t-shirts or shoes which can replace Nike and Adidas since all of them are worn for the same purpose, which is working out. The demand for sportswear is on an increase, the availability of diverse range of products is high, the switching costs are low, and being a clothing brand, customers might change their preference depending on the fashion trends. Moving on to the bargaining power of suppliers, it is low because there are a lot of suppliers in the market who provide materials for Nike and Adidas. Therefore, the company can easily negotiate and sign company deals with different suppliers in different regions, hence it is easier for them to replace any suppliers anytime. Besides big firms like Nike and Adidas, they have good names and established groups of customers which all suppliers would like to be associated with. But how about the bargaining power of buyers? It's moderate because it's not that high, but it's also not low because customers these days have a wide variety of options to choose from when it comes to sportswear. The switching costs are low and most of them are easily influenced by advertisements and marketing. The bargaining power of customers in this industry is actually high, but it is a quite different case with Nike and Adidas because the customer base of these companies is already huge. And even if a customer decides to change their preference, it is not going to affect the companies that much because there will also be other customers switching from other brands to Nike and Adidas. Additionally, customers will find it difficult to change their brand given the top-end quality products and powerful brand images Nike and Adidas offer. The less forced, which is competitive rivalry, it is high because the main competitors of Nike and Adidas are brands like Under Armour and Puma. They have been in the industry for also a very long time, have a high brand recognition in the market, and are already partnering with established distribution channels. They have invested heavily in marketing research and development. Therefore, Nike and Adidas will face a fierce competition from its investors, where a constant need to improve on their productions and services is highly needed. They cannot only rely to the existing consumers, there is also a direct comparison on the product qualities and prices, and most of the customers are highly insensitive to both. Consumer behavior profile. Who are they? And for Nike, it's usually millennials and Generation Z consumers who see sneakers as status symbols. And for Adidas, usually young adults as well as children who have passion for fitness and sports. And why do they buy? Or the customer value. So for Nike, people usually buy because of their high quality and high performance products, joyful sports experiences, and exceptional environment through self empowerment and collaboration. And for Adidas, they usually focus on innovation and customer satisfaction and takes time to develop new technology for footwear. And for what do they buy or the product item, Nike sells top quality athletic shoes for comfort and casual wear as well as streetwear, not just for sport. For Adidas, they sell high quality and lightweighted, comfortable and durable footwear. And for when do they buy or the frequency and timing, so people usually buy footwear at least once a year, sometimes even once every 6 or 3 months. And for some loyal customers, they also buy every time there are new product launch. And for where do they buy or the normal situation or the outlets, Nike sells its products through three main sources: retail stores, Nike's online store, and company-owned retail outlets. And the major source Adidas are sold is through retail stores, Adidas outlets. It has more than 2,800 retail outlets globally. And the second major way of distributing Adidas product is through multi-brand showrooms, and the showroom get the products from the distributor. And for how do they buy or the buying role, so usually customer can be the initiator, him or herself. It could also be because of other people through word of mouth or influencers. And usually the decider is also the buyer and the user.
Now we are talking about marketing strategy. First, we are talking about market segmentation. For Adidas, they mainly focus on demographic, psychographic, and also behavioral segmentation. For demographic segmentation, Adidas create three brands, which is Adidas Performance, Adidas Original, and Adidas Styles, and all of them are fit into range of male, female, and kids. And after all, they have product that fit to almost every demographic as possible. Second segmentation is psychographic. Adidas focus on social class because people within a given social class tend to have similar buying behavior. People interested in many goods is affected by their lifestyle, and many goods that they buy are expression of their lifestyle. And for example, people who love outdoor activity and sporty style, they tend to buy Adidas product. Also, Adidas provide the product that correspondent to consumer personality because many people who are experiencer and image driver also believe that Adidas provide product which are fashionable, good looking, and can be functional too. In behavioral segmentation, Adidas also segment customer like athlete, gym regular, sport enthusiast, also brand and image enthusiasts. Adidas also often have worked with different outlets which produce products that enhance their performance. For Nike, the demographic segmentation, they also target individual according to their age, life cycle stage, gender, occupation, and generation. Although with apparel and sport, the market can be broad. For most of part, like primarily target consumer who are between the age of 15 up to 40 years old. Nike also use psychographic segmentation to target individual with specific lifestyle and personality. To use this variable effectively, Nike must target the individual who are enjoying sport, whether it is playing, watching, or simply talking about sport. These activities shape personality and also lifestyle of the consumer. And Nike marketing effort are targeted to create some kind of feeling that can transcend the product. For behavioral, the company largely focus on how the product can make the consumer feel. The benefit expectation of the company product are clearly defined. You are an athlete. Nike product make you feel like an athlete. In addition, with behavioral segmentation, Nike also seek to build consumer loyalty by providing consumer with quality, choice, and innovation that the company excel in this part. Now we are moving on to the market target. For Nike, they not only interest in marketing its product to athletes, but the brand position itself as a brand that not only interact with athletes but pulls every consumer into fold with each fundamental pitch. This marketing approach allows the brand to cast a wide net and capture the attentions of consumers who may perceive themselves as athletes but actually didn't have a chance to. Second, for Adidas, Adidas not only providing high quality athletic sportswear for athletes, but they also targeting sport participants, including those at highest level of their sport, as well as non-athletes who are inspired by or really love sport. For brand positioning, Nike is positioned itself as premium brand, selling a well-designed and very expensive. At the same time, will the consumer with marketing strategy that's centering on the brand image, which is attained by distinctive logo and advertising logo just to it. For Adidas, the Adidas brand positioning is clear and distinct. They establish their positioning based on the creating belief and also value. The brand represents high quality products with innovative design. Now we are moving on to the product and pricing. The total product of Nike is around 643 products, which various types such as athletic footwear, apparel, athletic, recreational product, and sport equipment. While for the product of Adidas, the total is around 2,600, which various types from apparel, footwear, sportwear, sport equipment, and even toiletries. The price range for Nike is around $16.9 up to $295, while for Adidas, the price range is around $15.9 up to $400. Now we are talking about integrated marketing channel. Adidas marketing channel covering all aspects of media and also communication. They promote themselves through commercial campaign, through TV, print, billboard, etc., using several memorable ambassadors as well, such as David Beckham. The brand also constantly engage with user in the social media as well, and they also sponsor a leading player in different sports segment and feature in various game advertisements like Sony PlayStation. For the distribution and service channel, they have offline store, which is official and specialty store, and also they distribute their product to e-commerce platform, online retail, and mass merchandise. For Nike, the integrated marketing channel, they use internet marketing, email management technology, and using broadcast and narrowcast communication technology to create multimedia marketing campaign. For distribution and service channel, they also quite similar with Adidas. They have offline store. They also distribute to e-commerce platform, also online retails and mass merchandise. For integrated marketing communication, both Nike and Adidas has three strategies. First is advertising. Nike use different personality in the sporting area to advertise their product. The strategy is company use one of the athletes that have good reputation. For example, they use golf player Tiger Woods, and other than modern electronic media, the advertising also use print media like newspaper and display that takes different form. It can be found at bench or by signboard. For Adidas, they use advertising to create awareness of their product in the market. They divide their product according to their use. For example, in the case of football apparel, the company use personality in the soccer industry. The second method is personal selling. Nike use this method at corporate level, where they approach sporting club and seek for contacts to work with them. The company also negotiate to be given a chance to supply the club with sporting attire during period of competitions. While for Adidas, the personal selling involve high ranking managers and sales executive. They approach a big potential company like World Sporting Association, and they offer to give some shoes to the player in this association for advertisement. For example, in 1998, the Adidas offer shoes to one of the team, which is Brazil, that also participate in this World Cup. The third marketing communication strategy is creating good public relations, like increase their uh, public relations to a number of corporate social responsibilities, such as creating Nike Foundation, which a program that invests on the child education. Well, for Adidas, they also create a good public relation to green supply chain management, that they ensure that the company internal production is emit minimal pollutant to the environment.
So now let me present you the marketing attacks maneuvers between Nike and Adidas. To offer a good image, Nike and Adidas spend considerable sums each year on sponsorship or whether on equipment supplier contracts. Expenses whose return on investment is very often difficult to measure, but which allow advertisers to work on their notoriety and their overall image on all of their activities and categories. To boost their revenues, Nike and Adidas rely heavily on sports celebrities, those who sell shoes, jerseys, and sneakers around the world. Football is the king sport for sponsorships for Nike and Adidas. A few months ago, KPMG shared an infographic showing the breakdown of Nike and Adidas sponsorship spending by sport. According to the figures presented, Nike would spend a total of $1.673 billion against $1.405 billion for Adidas over 1 year. Indeed, at both sides, football would be the number one sport with $834 million, 70% spent by Nike, and $1.026 billion, 73% for Adidas. In 2020, Nike recorded 37.403 billion in revenue, down 4% due to the COVID-19 crisis. For its part, Adidas recorded a turnover of $23.6 billion the same year. Nike's main ambassadors are LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kylian Mbappé, Tiger Woods. The Swoosh brand is also the supplier of the NFL, NBA, FC Barcelona, PSG, the French football team, and many others. For its part, Adidas is notably associated with Lionel Messi, Paul Pogba, James Harden, the UEFA Champions League, the FIFA World Cup, the NHL, Real Madrid, Manchester United, and other selection football. All these ambassadors allow Nike and Adidas to sell more products to everyone's community and to get people talking about the brand. More recently, sports brands battled out in an NFT marketing campaign. In 2021, Nike launched the CryptoKicks digital sneakers. Marketed in a very limited editions, these shoes have the particularity of being customizable through skins to be inserted virtually in the sneakers. By the way, this allows Nike to do a double blow, since it is not only necessary to buy a CryptoKicks, but also skins. The success has been there for these virtual sneakers associated with the NFTs. We can indeed find second-hand models on OpenSea at more than $8,500. As for the skin, it trades above $2,800.
Evo X powered skins files allow you to evolve your artifact Nike Dunk Genesis sneaker and choose drip upgrades and powers.
After Nike's offensive, Adidas responds. In December 2029, we learned that Adidas is also preparing to launch into NFTs with a collection on the game The Sandbox. These NFTs, purchasable in cryptocurrencies, are sold at a price around €700 each. Through this, buyers will have access to digital accessories that can be used in the online game Sandbox.
Now, let's conduct a quick qualitative study about the brand positioning of both Nike and Adidas by interviewing the consumers about why they prefer one brand over the other. When asked about why he prefers Nike over Adidas, Tange Wagram, student in fashion, had this to say: "I've bought both Adidas and Nike products in my life, and from my experience, Nike products are more durable and last longer. That's why I now often buy Nike." Damien Hawa-Chopin, worker in a pub, says, "I'm a big fan of Nike because of the innovative character of the products they market. When buying sportswear from Nike, I have the feeling that I buy something that was created at the forefront of technology. This feeling is supported by Nike's sponsorship of many of the best athletes in the world." Now let's take a look at the retailer perspective. We ask Antoine Ligoff, manager of a sports shop in Puceau, France, his perspective about why he has more Nike products than Adidas products in his store. And he says, "To be honest, our catalog mainly depends on consumer demand. And today, Nike and Adidas are the main actors in sportswear, especially Nike, who is probably the most famous sport brand in the planet. And this reflects on our catalog." Now, let's take a look at Adidas. Why do Adidas consumers prefer the three-stripe brand over Nike? Julos Detraqué, student in human relationships, says, "The only reason I buy Adidas products is because they are the sponsor of my favorite football club, the Real Madrid. But I like both brands." Joanne Généreux says, "My fondness for Adidas is all about the three stripes. I like to wear Adidas clothes because of the allure that the three stripes give. Also, it's less mainstream than Nike, and I like to wear something different. Everybody already has a Nike sweatshirt, for example." Lastly, Quentin Clébar, interim worker in a sports shop in Paris, France, tells us, "As one of the famous sports shops in the city, we have to offer customers a retailing on both brands. But it's true that for some sports, Adidas will be more represented in our product choice, like rugby, for example, where Adidas products are deemed more efficient than Nike." So, to summarize, Nike's strengths are about the durability of the products, about the innovative characteristics that their products and their marketing strategy carries, and also about the sponsorship of the best athletes in the world. This makes them the most known sports brand in the planet, which often reflects on the catalog of sports retailers. On the other hand, Adidas consumer buy the brand because of the differentiations that this offers to their styles or in their sports team, for example. But the retailer perspective also tells us that Adidas has an expertise in some sports that leads the retailer to represent more the brand in their catalog.
So for the marketing side, the first one we have Nike. Nike already has a great innovation compared to Adidas since they are continuing to make new product, especially in their footwear lineup. But perhaps they can promote more on an eco and food-friendly shoes since it will also help increase the public perception towards Nike as one of the big apparel brands. And then we also recommend to continue their available channel integration such as their apps, offline stores, and online stores. Maybe they can start to expand this integration to every store they has across nations, so they can also try to integrate every store they have in a single country, and even if possible they can integrate every store they have across the globe. And lastly, Nike can try to add other iconic celebrity or athlete to their partnership, because it is good to have Michael Jordan as one of the most iconic lineup, but since Nike has a huge portion in basketball, maybe, so in other words, Nike has already ruled the basketball market, maybe Nike can expand this partnership to other sport categories such as running, because running shoes can also be used as daily shoes such as their basketball shoes, which is Michael Jordan lineup. Maybe they can make a partnership with Usain Bolt or other iconic athlete. The next one is marketing insights for Adidas. So actually Adidas is already innovating for their product lineup, but mostly they are following the demand created by their customer. They are not making the demand by creating a unique product, especially in the footwear category. Yes, Adidas has Yeezys, but we are suggesting for their general footwear lineup, since compared to Nike, Nike tend to create the demand by innovating in their footwear lineup. And the second one, we recommend Adidas to improve their channel integration, since Nike already did a great job on their integrating their channel, and Adidas need to keep up if they want to keep up the competition with Nike. They can use the same method as what Nike did, for example, digitalizations of supply chain, store recognition for customers in their phone location because they have this Nike app in their phone, and then online and offline store ordering, delivery, and inventory integration, and so on. And lastly, we recommend Adidas to increase their social media presence. Since Nike has a very strong social media presence, Adidas can increase theirs by maybe making users generated content, add more partnership with people that has strong social media and digital presence, such as some iconic athlete and celebrity.